1 year ago, I bought a Tesla Model Y thinking I was making a smart financial decision. No more gas stations, lower maintenance, cutting-edge technology, maybe even saving money every month. But after 12 full months of ownership, I finally know the truth. And honestly, some of the costs shocked me. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly what it cost me to own a Tesla Model Y in the United States for 1 full year. I'm talking about the monthly payment, insurance, charging at home, public charging, maintenance, registration fees, tires, depreciation, and all those hidden expenses nobody really talks about before buying an EV. So, if you're thinking about buying a Model Y in 2026, or you just want to know whether owning a Tesla actually saves money, watch this video until the end, because the final number might completely change how you look at EV ownership. Let's get into it. For context, I bought a Tesla Model Y long range here in the US about a year ago. At the time, I thought it was the perfect daily driver. It had great range, tons of storage space, fast acceleration, and access to Tesla's Supercharger network. I drive a lot, commuting, road trips, grocery runs, weekend travel, so after a full year, I've gotten a very realistic picture of what ownership is actually like. And before anyone says it, yes, every state is different. Electricity rates are different, insurance prices are different, driving habits are different, but this video should still give you a very solid real-world idea of what you can expect as an average US-based owner. Now let's start with the biggest expense, car payment. The first major cost was obviously the car itself. I financed the Model Y with a standard auto loan. After taxes, registration, and fees, the total out-the-door price came out to around $52,000. My monthly payment ended up being about $760 per month. Now, over 12 months, that means I paid roughly $9,120 just in car payments. And honestly, this is where a lot of people underestimate EV ownership. They focus so much on fuel savings that they forget the actual vehicle price matters more than almost anything else. The Model Y is not a cheap car. Even though Tesla has reduced prices over the years, once you include taxes and financing interest, you're still spending luxury car money. Now, to be fair, the car itself has been fantastic to drive. It's insanely quick, super smooth, and the software experience still feels years ahead of most traditional automakers. But financially, the monthly payment alone is a serious commitment, and we're just getting started. Insurance. This was honestly one of the biggest surprises. Before buying the car, I heard people saying EV insurance could be slightly higher. What I didn't realize was just how expensive Tesla insurance can get in certain parts of the US. For me, insurance averaged around $240 per month. That's nearly $2,880 per year. And yes, I shopped around. I checked Progressive, State Farm, Geico, Tesla Insurance, and a few local companies. Some quotes were even higher. The reason is simple. Teslas are expensive to repair. Even minor accidents can cost thousands because of sensors, cameras, body panels, and labor costs. And if you live in a big city like Los Angeles, Miami, Chicago, or New York, insurance can be absolutely brutal. A lot of YouTubers skip over this part when talking about Tesla ownership, but insurance alone can erase a huge portion of your gas savings. So, before buying any EV, especially a Tesla, always get insurance quotes first. Seriously. Charging costs. Now let's talk about charging. This is where EV ownership finally starts to make financial sense. About 85% of my charging was done at home. I installed a level 2 charger in my garage, and my electricity rate averaged about 16 cents per kilowatt hour. Over the year, I spent approximately $720 on home charging. That comes out to about $60 per month. Compared to my old gas SUV, which cost me around $250 to $300 a month in fuel, this was a massive improvement. But there's another side to the story: road trips. Whenever I used Tesla Superchargers, the costs went up fast. Supercharging is convenient, honestly the best charging network in America, but it's definitely more expensive than home charging.
Over the course of the year, I spent an additional $410 on supercharging, so total charging costs for the entire year were around $1,130. Still cheaper than gasoline? Absolutely, but not as unbelievably cheap as some people online make it sound.
Maintenance and repairs. One thing Tesla owners love to brag about is low maintenance. And to be fair, compared to a gas car, maintenance really is simpler. There's no oil changes, no transmission service, no spark plugs, no engine maintenance. But that doesn't mean zero costs. During the first year, I still spent money on tire rotations, cabin air filters, windshield washer fluid, alignment checks, and one tire replacement after hitting a pothole. Total maintenance and minor repairs came out to around $640. Honestly, that's pretty reasonable for a full year of driving. But here's the thing people don't talk about enough. Teslas go through tires fast. The instant torque is fun, but it absolutely eats tires if you accelerate aggressively. Some owners are replacing tires every 20 to 25,000 miles, and good tires for a Model Y are not cheap. A full replacement set can easily cost between $1,200 and $1,800 in the US. So while you save money on oil changes, tire wear becomes a real factor. Registration and hidden fees. Now, let's talk about the hidden costs. A lot of US states now charge additional EV registration fees because electric vehicles don't pay gasoline taxes. In my state, registration and EV-related fees totaled about $780 for the year. And honestly, this caught me completely off guard. Some states are adding hundreds of dollars in annual EV fees, and it changes the overall ownership math more than people realize. Then there are smaller expenses: accessories, floor mats, charging adapters, window tint, mobile connectors, subscription features. Little by little, the costs add up. I probably spent another $600 on random Tesla-related purchases. And yes, most of them were optional, but Tesla owners know exactly what I'm talking about. You start buying one accessory, then another. Now we need to talk about the biggest cost of all: depreciation. This is the part most people ignore because it's not a monthly bill you physically pay, but financially, it matters more than almost anything else. Over the past year, used Tesla prices have fluctuated a lot. Price cuts from Tesla directly affected resale values across the market. Based on current trade-in estimates and used market prices, my Model Y lost approximately $8,000 to $10,000 in value during the first year. That is huge. And honestly, depreciation alone ended up costing more than charging, maintenance, and insurance combined. Now, this isn't unique to Tesla. Most new vehicles depreciate, but EV pricing has been especially volatile recently. So if you're buying a Model Y thinking it's going to hold value forever, that's probably unrealistic. So after adding everything together, here's what my first year with the Tesla Model Y actually cost. Car payments, about $9,120. Insurance, about $2,880. Charging, about $1,130. Maintenance and repairs, about $640. Registration and fees, about $780. Accessories and extras, about $600. Estimated depreciation, roughly $9,000, which brings the total estimated first-year ownership cost to around $24,000. Yeah, that number surprised me too. Now, obviously, some of that is equity in the vehicle, and depreciation varies depending on the market. But when you look at the real financial picture, owning a Tesla Model Y is definitely not cheap. It's cheaper in some ways than a traditional gas SUV, but it's still an expensive modern vehicle. Now, with all that said, do I regret buying the Model Y? Honestly, no. Even after all the costs, it's still one of the best daily driver vehicles I've ever owned. The convenience of charging at home is amazing, the acceleration is addictive, the technology still feels futuristic, and road trips with the Supercharger network are much easier than I expected. But financially, I think a lot of people walk into EV ownership expecting magical savings, and the reality is much more nuanced. You may save money on gas, you may save money on maintenance, but insurance, depreciation, financing, and fees can absolutely balance those savings out.
So if you're thinking about buying a Tesla Model Y, my advice is simple. Run the numbers carefully. Not just the monthly payment, not just fuel savings, the full ownership cost. Because once you understand the complete financial picture, you can decide whether it actually makes sense for your lifestyle and budget. And honestly, that's the part most people skip. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. Would you still buy a Tesla after hearing these numbers? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.